Alvin was hurt by everything Simon had been saying to him. His heart sank, and Simon was saying this. "Simon, Alvin said weakly, while the thunder roared and the rain poured down as the lightning struck. "Shut up! I do not want to hear about you saying my name, you manipulated bitch!" Simon screamed as he shot Alvin's arms. "Simon, I did not know you felt this way. You could have told us, Simon. You were not thinking straight. Is this what Jaden would want?" Alvin said to Simon in tears. "No, but he did not want to die by your hands," Simon shouted as he pointed the gun at Alvin, while the flames roared and the storm ceased. "So Simon, I do care about you. I know I'm not the best brother and I know how things are when you planned, but," Alvin said, while blood was pouring out of his body. Simon growled while tears streamed down his face. He walked towards Alvin slowly and walked through the flames, which was starting to burn down the school. "So Simon, you've always been the big brother, even though you don't act like one, but my life would be a mess without you. You always guided me and Theodore through life, and Dave and I always looked up to you whenever I do something wrong. You always tell me what is wrong is right, and there were times I should have listened to you. I maybe could hurt by Theodore by your words, but it doesn't stop me from loving you like Theodore, Simon. I wish I knew how you felt all along. I do regret my mistakes, especially what happened to Jaden," Alvin said with sorrow and pain in his tone. He could see he was losing consciousness slowly as he was starting to get something out of his pocket. He sees Simon stand in front of him, points a gun at him. "This is for Jaden," Simon muttered angrily, while tears streamed down his face. That was when Simon pulled the locket with the words, "To our big brother" on it. I care about you. I know how heartbreaking it is to lose someone like you, and I had known. I should have been supporting your relationship with Jaden. I never had a problem with him. I should have been more severe and a little more caring about your feelings, Simon. I'm so sorry. I love you, big brother," Alvin said as he slipped into unconsciousness. Simon growled and he was shaking, but could not bring himself to kill him so suddenly. He looked at the locket before he took and opened it. He gasped as he see a picture of him and his brothers together happily. The message was on the left. "I may be a troublemaker. I may not be perfect, but it hasn't stopped me from caring for my younger brother, Theodore, and my best friend and brother Simon, who deserves a lot more in life than we do. We love you no matter what, big brother." He recalled what Alvin said before he slipped into unconsciousness. Not one of my brothers called me that before, Alvin." "Oh, really?" Simon said weakly as he sniffled, feeling remorse. "Oh dear Lord, what have I done?" Simon asked himself, looking down in shame as the flames roared. "I'm so sorry," Simon whispered. The rain was able to die down and everyone was to go outside, although they were shocked to see a fire. Dave arrived to see what was happening, while everyone was in shock, while the teachers were horrified at this. "Alvin!" Dave screamed angrily. "Where is he? What did Alvin do?" Dave asked. "For once, nothing. Some homicidal maniac just killed 9 students and I presumed he escaped," Miss Smith explained. Dave's face went from red to anger white with fear. "Wait, what? Where's Alvin?" Dave asked in fear. "He's right here," Kevin shouted, about 8 feet away from everyone else. Dave and Brittany did not hesitate to rush as they saw Alvin's unconscious body on the ground. "Is he all right?" Brittany asked in tears. "He's a little burnt, but he's alive. He has a few injuries, but I was able to stop the bleeding. However, he has to go to the hospital. I only found him about a couple minutes ago," Kevin explained. Dave kneeled down and placed a hand on his son. "Oh, Alvin, I hope you're okay," Dave said to himself, while the fire spread through the entire school. The firefighters arrived with the police. Alvin woke up in the hospital room, and he groaned in pain. My head," Alvin said while groaning. "Alvin, oh thank God you're all right. I thought we were going to lose you," Dave said with fear and worry. "What, Dave? Where am I? How long was I?" Alvin asked weakly. "You're in the hospital. You were unconscious for a few days. We were all worried," Dave said. He then sees Theodore, Brittany, and her sister sitting on the chair behind him. "Where's Simon?" Alvin asked in fear and sorrow. "We don't know. The police have been searching for him. Even when I looked, I couldn't find him. It was like he disappeared and ran off the grid," Dave said in concern. Alvin looked down in shame as he sighed deeply, thinking about the words Simon had said to him. "I've never seen the signs that he hated me. Simon always knew our abandoned us, but she had a good reason, he assumed," Alvin asked in his mind before trailing off. "What's the matter, Alvin? Is something wrong?" Theodore asked, walking to his brother with concern. Alvin looks in shame and sorrow. He could not bring himself to tell Theodore even if he could. Dave explained he was found outside while the school was on fire. They found 10 bodies of the dead students in there. Alvin was lucky he had escaped. "Alvin, what's going on? What happened?" Dave asked as he sat on Alvin's bedside. Alvin wanted to tell him, but he just knew he could not. Alvin was the only person Simon hated so much. Even if he told him, or Theodore, they would not believe him, so he assumed. When Alvin was alone in the hospital room, he sees Brittany, who comforted him about Simon. "How did you know it was him?" Alvin asked sadly. "Right after we found the classroom I snuck out to find you, and I was stunned and didn't even know Simon did this. I had no idea he was capable of such thing. I ran off after you started the fire," Brittany said, sitting next to Alvin. "At least you didn't stay long enough to hear the words he said to me. He hated me, Britt. His life hated me so much that he had to hide it," Alvin said in tears. Brittany's face went pale as she heard it. "He said I ruined his life. I kept ruining everything. My God, I even killed Jaden, his one and only," Alvin said sadly. "Alvin," Brittany said softly. That was when Jeanette and Eleanor walked in, hearing everything. "I am the worst. If I did not exist, would Simon be happy?" Alvin asked himself. "Don't say that, Alvin," Jeanette said in sorrow. "Yeah, I'm sure Simon didn't mean to say any of those things," Eleanor said. "He actually did. He hated me. He killed them all because of me. He wanted to kill me because I killed Jaden," Alvin confessed as he had tears in his eyes. "Alvin, you did not mean to. It was an accident," Eleanor said. "Yeah, an accident caused by me. Jaden would still be here if I didn't take that bicycle and..." Alvin just suddenly burst into tears. The Chipettes comforted him as Alvin's guilt eaten away inside. During Alvin's hospital stay, things changed. The school was under repair due to the damages of the burn, and that it would take the entire season to be fully repaired. The deaths of 10 students were attributed to a homicidal killer, but the mystery murder was never caught. No one but Alvin and the Chipettes knew it was, so the case remains unsolved. Alvin was questioned by the police, but he could not bring himself to rat out his brother. He made up a lie, saying he did not see anyone else as he escaped before he passed out. The families, including Derek Smalls, were devastated by the deaths of the children. Teachers in the Meadows had to work at home due to the school being under repair due to damages. They were the only lucky ones. They and the others got out alive when the storm died down. Alvin wasn't the same since that day. He convinced himself that Simon was doing what he did was his fault. The accusations, the words echoing in his head, the guilt existing. Due to Simon's disappearance, the Chipmunk band had to be delayed until Simon is found. Every missing poster and news report was brought, but yet no signs of Simon. Dave and Theodore did not know why Alvin was not. When he was released from hospital, Alvin visited Jaden's grave without anyone noticing. When he arrived, he sees 8 or 9 bouquets of flowers on his grave. One of them was recent. Alvin knew right away Simon had placed them there. "Simon must have been here," Alvin said to himself. Alvin heard someone calling his name. He turns to see Theodore, Dave, and the Chipettes running to him. "How did you all find me?" Alvin asked as they stopped. "Brittany told me about your guilt for what happened, and we knew right away where you're at," Theodore said. "Oh," Alvin said, turning his head to Jaden's grave. The only sound was found as the wind. At least David broke the silence. "Alvin, there is no reason for you to blame yourself for like this," Dave said in worry. But Dave, I'm the only reason why he's dead," Alvin said sadly. "No one's at fault, Alvin. It was an accident. We were the only ones lucky. Miss Agerset did not press charges," Dave said, trying to cheer up Alvin. "Dave, Theo, girls, I'm sorry. I wish I was not some..." Alvin said before trailing off. "No one is perfect, Alvin. I understand how you feel. I mean, we all make mistakes, Brittany reassured. Alvin did not say anything as he sniffs and bursts into tears. Come on, Alvin, let's go home. It's getting late, Dave said, picking up his son and walking off. Alvin walked to his bedroom window before looking up and back at Simon's bed. Where are you now, big brother? Alvin said to himself in concern. That was when Fyodor walked in the room next to Alvin. He sat next to him before putting a hand on his shoulder. Dave's ordering his pizza, Fyodor said to Alvin. Great, Alvin said sadly. Fyodor frowned before he hugged his brother tight. Alvin, you are a good brother. I know Simon is too, but... Fyodor said before Alvin interrupted with guilt. Don't you have a teddy to watch? Much? Alvin asked. Not today. As much as I want to make sure you're okay, maybe one day we will find Simon. I mean, we're brothers and brothers stick together, Fyodor said, trying to stay positive. Alvin thought about it for a moment before hugging him back. You know, you're the right, Theo. Brothers stick together, Alvin said as he smiled for the first time. The two heard Dave shouting for them that pizza was here. The two shouted for Dave that they'll be down shortly. All right, enough of the mushy stuff. Let's go, I'm starving, Alvin said with a smile. Now there's the Alvin I know, Fyodor said as he broke the hug and smiled and chuckled. Well, maybe someday we'll find Simon, whatever he is. I hope he's okay. I do hope he finds his peace. I also hope his hidden hate dies down. As for me, I think it's time I stop with these crazy shenanigans once and for all, and I have to live on for Fyodor's sake. Neither him or Dave know what really happened. Alvin thought as he followed his younger brother to the dining room. But what he said was true. He stopped using his crazy shenanigans and resulted in changing a little. If he had Fyodor encounter Simon, well, whatever in the world of Chipmunks will return. Until then, life will go on with the Seville family. And that, my pretties, was Hidden Hate, a Alvin and the Chipmunks creepypasta written by QueenRayleigh3. My final thoughts on this story. Well, I do have a couple things to say about this story. I have some, good things to say about it and some not great things. So, I'm gonna go with the positives of this story. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with, the positive side of the story. Now, for one, the concept of it seems a little cliched because other creepypastas have done this before. So yeah, that's something really need to be, addressed to. So there's definitely that. And another thing too is, I really do think that the story does have potential, and it does. But there is a few things that I do need to say. For one, the story seems a little cliched, but and the fact that, that Simon goes ahead and, starts killing everybody because of what happened. Yeah, I definitely have to say that's a little cliched, characters going ahead and killing each other. There's absolutely no reason why Simon is doing that. Like, there's literally no reason for Simon to go ahead and do that, that just literally, that just literally makes me wonder is, why that's the case. So, yeah, I definitely have to really say that this story obviously does have a good concept. Like, I just feel that the story, just was more filler than anything. But, that's just me because, the story is long. I mean, I don't have a problem with long stories or anything. It's just, this story, there was just too much filler. That's one of the main problems of this story I have was there was just too much filler. But the story could have been, really nice and well done. And I mean, Simon going insane and, killing everybody. There's absolutely no reason for Simon to do that. I mean, yeah, he may be upset with Alvin over his mishaps and stuff, but I can't see Alvin going I mean, I can't see Simon going that far. That's just me personally, but, that's just what I'm saying, but, okay. But the grammar was alright, but it does need to be worked on because I did see a couple grammatical errors. I do believe there were, some spelling mistakes. I did notice there was a lot of spelling mistakes that obviously just didn't really fit well with the story. And yeah, it just didn't fit well with the story for it. So, yeah. It just didn't fit well with the story. At least it's to my knowledge, though. And the concept of it was I just really am not a fan of it. I mean, it's not perfect, I will say, but I'm just not a fan of it, if that makes total sense. But, that's just really what I'm trying to say right now. So, yeah. I'm just gonna say that. But I really just don't know what to really think of this. Because I think this story just went, 1 to 100 really quickly. I mean, the sentence structuring does need work too. I did notice that there was a couple of run-on sentences and there was no commas, to help with separate the story. I think there's just more periods than anything. The periods were kind of all over the place, so the story was a little hard to read. It was hard to read at parts. It was really hard to read because there was no commas or anything like that. You see, people, I'm okay if you use, 1 or 2 commas in a sentence and then, do another sentence. That's fine. But, yeah, if you're just going to put periods as commas, yeah, don't do that because that just makes the story hard to read for everybody, if that makes total sense. Anyway, I guess with that being said, yeah, this story, it's a mixed bag for me. That's literally all I'm trying to say, is that it's a mixed bag. I mean, I'm not saying the story is terrible or anything, but it definitely could have been, could have had a better concept in that, but that's just me. Now, what I would suggest to the author to do if they want to improve on this story is put it through Google Docs and it will help you correct, any spelling mistakes, or it corrects, sentences, and you gotta know where to put the commas and stuff. I mean, Google Docs can really help you with that, and I do recommend that for anybody who is going to write stories. I mean, I use Google Docs when it comes to my stories, and, I've improved on my writing as I go, so there's definitely that. Anyways, I'll leave a link to the description of the story in case you guys want to go check it out. As always, like I'm always going to say, and like I always continue to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories. This is just simply my own personal thoughts, as well as creepypastas. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. The story, while I wanted to like it because it had a really interesting concept and stuff, but I can't really see Simon going off and, going on a killing spree, anything like that. I don't see Simon doing anything like that. I mean, he may have a disdain for, Alvin's antics at times, but I can't see him go that far without a certain reason. But even then, though, there were it was cliched with, involving, a character going ahead and killing everybody for God knows what reason. That obviously just didn't sit well with me, and this story was just literally terrible. The story just wasn't really that great, so yeah, I mean, I'll give it credit that the story did somewhat try to have potential to be good, but unfortunately, that's just not what I see in my eyes. But yeah, anyways, with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Twitter, link to my Twitter account will be in the About page section. If you guys want to go follow me on DeviantArt, link to my DeviantArt account will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as link to that will also be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there. And as always, that's pretty much all I have to really say, but if I'm missing something, please let me know what it is in the comments below. As always, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.